Bernadine tells us was a black dog represented by a black bull whose hide denoted his black skin.
Here's the picture that he showed on the screen. It's a deity El, the god El. Pay attention to the crown or the headdress, if you will. This is a picture from the front of the same statue, a little closer, and a little bit from the side here. Now, this headdress is actually the Atef crown. If you go on Webster's online dictionary, that's what it says. Atef is the specific feathered white crown of the Egyptian deity Osiris. It combines the head jet, the crown of Upper Egypt, with red ostrich feather for the Osiris cult. The Atef crown identifies Osiris in ancient Egyptian painting. If you go to Webster's dictionary, Merriam-Webster, it says Atef, hold on, a tall crown with a long feather on each side, shown in the art of ancient Upper Egypt as worn by Osiris. Okay? Here you can see Osar or Osiris with the Atef crown. This is from the papyrus of Nebket. It's actually in the Louvre Museum, and you can see me filming that papyrus on the video entitled Reality Check. Why black people ain't going nowhere, but you might as well put Afro Style Reality Check, it's gonna come up. And in here, it's also from the Louvre Museum. You have Osiris in the middle with the Atef crown, and the description for it, if you go on the website of the Louvre Museum and you type Royal and Divine Triad, you can do a search and you will see they mention that he is actually wearing the Atef crown. Now finally, you can compare the crowns. Okay, first you have the god of the Arabs Negroes, which first is El, but somehow some way becomes Allah, but that's up to y'all, that's up to the doctor. And then you have the one that I showed you, Osiris. Then again, from the front, compared with another statue of Osiris, and then finally the same statue from another angle.
Biblical King's Seal discovered in dump site. This is the royal seal of the King Hezekiah, and here we have an ankh. And finally, last but not least, you need to see it to believe it. The God of the Bible, El, slept in his own dung and urine. This is Ugaritic narrative poetry, page 195. And we also have this book here, the Masria in the prophetic literature, where it clearly says that El floundered in his own feces and urine. I hope you're doing well. This time it's a live stream. I realized that I forgot to put the link for those who want to become members so they can participate in the chat. Now, where is it? There it is. Let me add it now. In the center, I will check the sound. That's good. What's good is that earlier, so we had like 9 people online. It's getting better than before. So here's how it works. This link allows people to become members of the channel, which means it's not the same as being a subscriber. It means that they have certain privilege, and one of them is to participate in the chat. Google handles that, or YouTube. I don't have any contact details. I don't have any email address, phone number, surname, first name, email address, bank information. I don't have any of that. This is handled by Google or YouTube. So this is also a way to support me because I've been live streaming for a very long time actually, and besides the live streams, I've been sharing information for well over 15 years. And I've had people who be telling me that they're going to support me for years, and after years, they've never done that. So I'm kind of tired of repeating myself. On the same breath, I was trying to share the link on Twitter, and Twitter is going through some things, what it was a few minutes ago. So, you know what? Um, I think I'm going to stop using Twitter anyway because uh, people don't really want to basically add me on Twitter for whatever reason. Uh, when you deal with the information, particularly when it's about issues that is concerning non-Abrahamic people, most of the time people are hiding. So sometimes they don't want to be associated, but it is what it is. So that being said, I've received two little toys. So that's volume one and volume two. It's only right that I just start playing with it, right? The title of this video, if I didn't say it, is Greek has not been deciphered. So some people claim that the hieroglyphic or the Middle Nature has not been deciphered for many fanciful reasons. Let's check this out now. Now, right here, that's the book that I've shown you. This is a credential of the author of the book, Robert S. P. Beeks, PhD, 1969. He's Professor Emeritus. He's deceased. He's Professor Emeritus of Comparative Indo-European Linguistics at Leiden University. He has published extensively on the historical grammar of Greek, Iranian, and Indo-European, including the development of the Proto-Indo-European laryngeals in Greek, Mouton 69, the origins of the Indo-European nominal inflections, IBS 85, a grammar of Gata Avestan, Brier 88, and comparative Indo-European linguistics, an introduction, Benjamin's 95. So here is the source. Briel is the author. I'm sorry, not the author, the publisher, and you do have the name here. And you can check them out. They publish some academic work. They are official. So this is the excerpt on page 368, and this is volume one. For those who wonder, here we don't have any volume, but there is volume one and volume two. So this is Greek here. It spells ebenos, and you can see here it says ibani, tree. Now etymology, and it says from Egyptian, and then we have the transliteration, Hebeni. Remember the I or the J is the sound E. So here we have translation Ebony. Even says ultimately perhaps Nubian. And the person that proposed that it might be Nubian is called Spielberg KZ. And then you have some reference here, probably the page number and the date. So we learn from that author, Robert S. P. Beeks, that the word Ibani comes from the Egyptian Hebeni. Here you have the book Pocket Guide to Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyphs by Richard Parkinson, PhD, and this is page 29 and 30. And it says, for example, the hieroglyph shows a branch of a tree which is used to write glyphs chet, meaning tree. From that, it can be used. Well, it's supposed to say use here. Well, you know what? I'm going to correct it now. Let's correct it in real time. You know what? It says. Oh, it should be corrected. Yeah, so from that, it can be used to write the sound ch, as in the glyphs nechet, meaning strong. It can also be a determinative of words for wood and wooden objects, such as, oh, okay. You know when it says glyphs and glyph, that's where you actually have the hieroglyph. So when it says glyph without the S, is one glyph, and when it says glyphs, it's several glyphs because it would have been too meticulous to put the glyphs all the time, and it would have had to be very small. But anyway, so it can also be a determinative of words for wood and wooden objects, such as ebony. And you know, for those who may wonder, no, where is it? For those who may wonder, I have the book right here. All right. Okay, let's continue. So it can also be a determinative of words for wood and wooden objects, such as ebony, meaning ibani, which is a type of dark African wood. By the way, ibani is one word that we have borrowed from ancient Egyptian. This is an excerpt for the video that I uploaded years ago, and the title is here, Ibani, African origin of the word. And here you can see the glyphs that spell out Ibani. You even have the different phonetic values. So this is a biliteral, stands for two sounds. This is a single sound, the N. This is the sound E. Even though you see the letter Y or I, it is pronounced E. And then finally the determinative or ideogram, which doesn't have any phonetic value here. So we go from the ancient Egyptian or Middle Nature Hebeni to the Greek ebenos. And what do we have here? We have ebenos. Some might say ebeninos, and then we have the Latin ebeninus. And so therefore we went from the Medunetchere to the Greek to the English Ibani. And here, I will share the link in the chat. What you see here comes from the University of St. Andrews. And you see it was founded 1413. Now, this is on page 79, but when you go to the top, you will see page 81 of 302. You know, sometimes on PDFs, the actual page that you select at the top might not be the actual page on the document. And here we do have ebony. And here you can see ebony. Remember the J is pronounced E. And here you also have ebony. Now, the funny thing is that this comes from the Westcar Papyrus. Some of you might have heard about the Westcar Papyrus. And the person who translated it is called Blackman. And I've shown you Blackman. Actually, if you go and you search within my channel, if you know how to do that, you can type in Blackman and you will see something quite ironic. Remember, James P. Allen in his Middle Egyptian, on page 5, he translates Henenit the Black. Henenit Kem, he translates it as Henenit the Black. And from that person called Blackman, then you can see these different artifacts, you know, the primaries that he went through. So I'm going to share the link in the chat. St. Andrews. I didn't make it up. Funny thing, I will show you. When you look for it, see the search says Westcott Papyrus St. Andrews. So the first link is the one that I shared in the chat, hosted on the University of St. Andrews. But then if you scroll down just a little bit, you have this here, nyu.edu. And you know what this is? This is University of New York. And it also directs to the one that I've shared, to the St. Andrews University. So it has opened in a new window. But anyway, just so you can see, when I shorten the URL, it's hosted on New York University. See? So even New York University is directing to St. Andrews University. So all that being said, if the Medunachal has not been deciphered, then should we say that the Greek has not been deciphered? Does that even make any logical sense to anybody out there? Now this one here, oh hold on, I almost shared the wrong link. It's very important because we talk about literacy, we talk about writing, and our script derives from the Medunachal. A lot of people love to say that the alphabet derives from alpha beta, which is Greek, and that the Greek alphabet derives from the aleph bet, which is uh, Hebrew or Proto-Sinaitic. But they fail to say most of the time that even the Proto-Sinaitic that people call Semitic or Hebrew or Proto-Hebrew derives from the Kemetic. Now, this is Anthony Browder's Nile Valley Contribution to Civilization, page 170 and 171. So some people will say, oh, he's an Afrocentric. So here we do have another chart by Stephen Roger Fisher in his history of writing, page 48. You can look up his credentials. And then we have another chart once again. Now, the previous one you see, Egyptian, Proto-Sinaitic, Phoenician, Greek, and Latin. Oligor-Wasa, hieroglyphic, Proto-Sinaitic, Phoenician and Paleo-Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. Now, Professor Oligor-Wasa is the head of the Department of Egyptology, Ancient Near Eastern Languages and Cultures from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. So those two are not Afrocentric. And it's funny because now black is going to be a synonym with Afrocentric when you make a claim that doesn't suit the status quo. And it's a shame. Afrocentric is like a negative label. I don't run around calling myself Afrocentric, but a lot of people, and you know, the funny thing is that it's mainly black people lately who's been using that term as a negative because they tell themselves that are not convenient to their worldview. But you have to let me know in the chat. Does that even make any logical sense? I mean, we're gonna reach 2023 very soon, and I wonder how many people are gonna continue, you know, talking about that nonsense that the hieroglyphic or Medunachal has not been deciphered. If it hasn't been deciphered, how come we have a Greek word that derives from the Medunachal? I mean, you have to stop repeating stuff that you heard, and that sounds good. You're making a whole group of people look bad. You're making a whole ethnic group look bad. You're making a whole race look bad. You can choose whatever word suits you best. Remember, it is pitiful to think that all the scholars, all the experts, all the specialists, all the PhDs in the world are wrong, but one guy is right just because he said so 30 years ago. You can do better than this. So stay safe, stay healthy. And if I'm allowed to by the Necheru, I will definitely holler back at you. Hotep.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving Medu Nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video Kemet and Ma'at before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Neture class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.